Alrighty, well, welcome to the Next Gen Season 4. Round 3, and we find ourselves at Catalunya. We're going to sort the social medias out and then we will be with you. Hello Ian, welcome, welcome, welcome to round 3 at Catalunya. So Elliot's going to be the first one to put a lap time down. Just over 16 minutes. Post on Facebook, get it into the ACC groups as well. A 1:44, loving the numbers from Hempy in the 99, beautiful. Ferrari there, Hankin in P2, 0.6 off the pace, 0.8 off the pace is Hukan Lukan, now knocked off by Rupativo in the 78 Ferrari, 0.1 off the pace. Catalunya. Alrighty. Well, a little bit of delay getting the comms on, but we're here and we're ready to go. Hankin now in P5. Hempy has lost podium position for another 1:44.2, 5:40 off the pace. To Mr. Lampi in P1, but we've got the podium pack is currently dominated by the Ferraris. I wonder whether that'll be a thing here for Catalunya as Elliot Hankin crosses that start finish yet again, nearly taking P1, not even a tenth separating them. Now just over a tenth as Hempy crossing that start finish line gets a 1:44. To cross. That position, going for the penultimate sector of Catalunya, crossing that start finish straight. What's he got for us today? Not quite a P1 slot. Hey, how are you doing, Mikey? Always a pleasure to see you, fella. And Nicolo making his way through the penultimate sector of Catalonia. And through the final right-hand bend for, well, yet to put a time down as he comes over that start-finish straight, and he is P2. Look at that time, not even 1/10,000th of a second separating him and Hempy there. An exact 1:44.184. You don't see that very often in racing. Hempy still taking P1, 78. Rupat making his way through the penultimate section. Where can he hit? Shaving over a 10th off, but still in P7. And Lampy next to Cross, that start finish. Taking P1, putting Hempy nearly 0.3 of a second now separating the two Ferraris here at Catalonia for round 3 of the Next Gen Season 4 GT World Tour. And the legendary 909 Misha, I believe, in the AMG, crossing that start finish for Netlas to put a time on 0.4 of a second. Very nearly taking P4 there from Mamster in the number 11 Audi. Number 28 crossing that, taking P2 again. Nicolo taking P2 away from Hempy, putting him still in podium but a P3 position. Mamster in P4. We've got the 316 pit connoisseur, Tokyo Drift. Hukan Lukan in the 316 Lexus. Across that start finish. Now I'm just going to sort myself out, boys and girls, as we were late to the stream. Just to get myself a drink, getting ready for that start finish. So I'm just going to leave you with the sights and sounds. You've got the times on there as well. Kobe in P7, 0.5 off the pace to Mr. Lampy. Right, I'll be back in a few seconds, boys and girls. 10 minutes left to go of qualifying for round 3 of the Next Gen GT World Tour. Alrighty, it's just over 6 minutes of qualifying left to go. We've got Mikey watching the Next Gen round 3 on the big screen like an absolute boss, watching it properly. Try and give you guys the best show we can possibly give you for the Next Gen boys. And obviously, I think it's Misha in P1, making some adjustments and seeing whether he can improve his time with the 143. So he's broke the 144s, as has Lampy. Nicolo now in P3. Yes! We're on the 65-inch TV. That's what I like to hear, mate. That's what I like to hear. Just getting a good look for the corner names. We've got Europe Car, Campsa, Repsol, Seat, Renault, Penalty Lap Loop, Elfworth. Okie doke. So, with just over 4 minutes left to go, Misha in P1, Lampy in P2 in the 51 Ferrari, Nicolo in P3, Hempy, who was originally taking pole, now in P4, Mamster in P5 in the number 11 Audi, and Hankin, Elliot Hankin, is P6 in the number 44 Audi there. So, let's jump on board, see exactly, no, we won't see exactly what an onboard lap looks like, but Mamster only 0.4 seconds off. He can show us what it takes for the boys today here at Catalunya for round 3 of the Next Gen Season 4 GT World Tour, making sure you maximize all of the track widths available. And of course, very late on the gas through Renault there as we make our way up to Repsol with the aptly named Repsol Bridge. And we've got some more Repsol to our left. Very good Assetto Corsa. And into the left-hander of Seat under the Audi bridge, up to the left-hander of Worth. Well, you want to be utilising track widths here, getting the car as straight as you can, making our way up to the right of Campsa. And unleash all of them 600 horsepowers or thereabouts up to La Cayaxa. And up to the right-hander of Sab Adel, into the right of Europe Car, and into Europe Car chicane. Oh, and the final New Holland. But that's a spin there for Mamster. Just over a minute left to go. We've got MV still in P1, Lampy in P2, Nicola still in P3, Hempy still in P4, .333 off the pace. Kobe now in P5 in the number 7 McLaren as he makes his way up towards the right-hander of Elf. Mamster in P6. Hankin now in P7. Jamo in P8. Toucan, Lucan in P9. And all these drivers under a second as Hempy with a P1. Misha 1.120 off the pace, over a tenth, separating P1 to P2 there. Hempy with an incredible P1 lap into the 1:43.7. We'll have to see exactly how he fares today. Alrighty. Well, with the qualifying session coming to an end, we've got drivers still out on track. The last driver is Lucan, so we'll stay on board with him. Kobe is next to Cross, 0.45 off the pace in P6. And that is still the same for him. The number 28 of Nicolo was P3, now P5. Alrighty, so Nicolo working his way through Europe car and up to the final corner of New Holland. Let's see what he can do. He's only 2.249 off the pace and not able to capitalize, but taking P5 for the qualifying session there. Neil, the Dark Seal in chat. Hello, good sir. What an absolute pleasure it is to have you in chat, my friend. So then, there you have it. Round 3 at Catalonia. We have standings as follows. With Hempy with a blistering 1:43.7, putting him on pole position in his beautiful Ferrari there. Literally the best livery on track, hands down. And Misha with a P2 in the 909 Mercedes A. Oh, he's putting some pressure under P2. Misha there showing his dominance, showing the size of his, shall we say, phallus, saying, I've got P1, boys, what TF are you gonna do about it? He is literally cocking his leg and spraying all over the track there, as all the drivers could do nothing but look on in dismay as the beautiful number 99 Ferrari there shows us how it's done apart from that bit. And we can hear him now. Oh, gone back in track. And we can see the pit connoisseur actually doing what he does best there. From the onboard shot, as we are now on track, ready for the Next Gen Season 4 Round 3 at Catalonia. And as per usual, we're always treated to some incredible racing, so I expect nothing other. Today we've got Misha in the 909, Mercedes side by side with Hempy. He's got his Nissan gloves while driving a Ferrari. And just over 2 minutes left to go before the infamous Catalonia is underway. It's not a very challenging track. It's a very sort of, once you get used to it, it's more of a free-flowing kind of track. There's a couple of corners where you've got to be careful on the throttle, such as the right-hander of Renault, turn 2. Just over a minute left to go before we get that green for the formation lap here at Catalonia. So now would be a good time to run through the standings. We've got Lampy. Oh, can't do it. Lampy in P1 with 42 points. Kobe in P2 with 38 points. Elliot Hankin in P3 with 33 points. 30 points goes to Alexei Mamster with 29 points in P5. Hukan Lukan P6 with 28 points. GT Dele 25 points in P7. MVGT, as we hear the engines now start on track, with 24 points, same as Rupertiva with 24 points. Jamo in P10 with 23 points. Hempy with P11 18 points, and Nicolo 18 points P12, but that most certainly doesn't reflect I can't back out. Okay. Okay, well, so Hemp is in the pits. I can't actually back out, as you've seen. It's a 60-minute race after the formation lap, so at least we get a helicam view of the boys making their way through the penultimate corner of New Holland. Yeah, you're not wrong, Neil. ACC is just better. I keep complaining every time I play GT Sports, so I feel like I need to put it to rest. But I can hear the cars make their way, so it looks like we're going to be able to back out in a second as well. Daniel Hempy forgot to press go. And yeah, a big shout out to Jerry in chat. Congratulations to you, brother. We can hear the beautiful sound of the GT3 cars from the helicam. And as I like to say, ACC most certainly does separate the men from the boys. And we can just see the cars in the top left of the screen now. And P1 for Hempy, he's now going to have to start as they cross the line. So he's going to have to be quick to press go again. But it means that he's going to have to work back up the pack now. As we wait for the boys to make their way. Here they are, making their way through New Holland, all lining up. Misha now with a P1, no one side by side with him, but Lampy also first to... And it looks like Elliot Hankin after the green has already worked his way up to P3, side by side. They got the Kobe side by side with the number 11 Audi as they make their way through Elf and up to the right-hander of Renault. And we get a beautiful shot of the onboard camera. We've got the 909 Mercedes AMG in P1. Currently being chased by the NXTGEN Season 4 GT World Tour Championship leader. We can see Elliot Hankin in P3 now, Nicolo in P4, Mamster in P5, and Kobe in P6. As they make their way through and up towards the heavy braking section of La Caxia. And Hempy well and truly off the pace as the Ferrari nearly just showing his nose there to P1. Elliot Hankin making his way up to a P3. He's going to be enjoying that for a race start here at Catalonia as all drivers now begin to make their way through. Can Lampy get a better run out here as it looks as Lucan is within slipstream range of Jamo in the number 98 Ferrari as they cross that start-finish line. And Hempy, but he can get his head down, he can focus. People are going to be making mistakes and fighting is going to be on. We've got Lampy on the inside line. Lampy, he's on the inside line of the 909 Mercedes, and it looks like he's already been able to take that position away from Misha. And is he going to be able to keep that? The right-hander of Repsol. It looked as though Elliot Hankin was looking to perhaps take that position there. On board with Elliot Hankin in P3. This is an incredible first start. Nicolo in P4, well and truly within slipstream range. We've got Mamster taking the racing line. Elliot Hankin has gone for the inside line of Lampy as they come up to the left hander. Lampy having to run wide. I don't think there was any contact. Nicolo also on the inside line. And Lampy going from P1 to P4. Now in threat of Mamster in the number 11 Audi GT3 as Misha now in the P1 spot. We have some beautiful racing here as they make their way up to that start finish straight, and Kobe looking like he is leading the P6 fight. I'll have to join you, Mikey, if you give me a time. We'll have to get on the ACC run. I'm probably going to jump on the TMK server though, and get some laps in with the Porsche 911. As look at the incredible racing that we have here. Lampy having to do his work yet again. Lucan, look at this, the pressure, only 0.2 of a second now separate P7 to P8, and Lucan is always one to work his way up the pits, a second, or 0.999 to be exact, separating the Ferrari to the Lexus there for that P8 slot as they make their way through Campsa and up towards La Caixa. Has he got the run though? Has he got the run? Is he going to go for the inside line? He's not quite able to get the inside line. A very, very awkward place to overtake there. That would probably caused some carnage. But look at that beautiful sight. And it appears as though the number 7 McLaren of Kobe now in P6, 1.1 seconds separating himself to Mamster. 1.2 seconds separating himself. He's gone for the inside line. He's able to get the switch back. He's had to run wide late on the brakes perhaps there, and is he going to lose out on some more positions? He's under threat from Mamster as he comes to the right-hander of Renault and heading out towards Repsol. Side by side we've got Audi and Ferrari battling it out as they make their way up towards Repsol. We've got the Audi GT3 taking position of Lampy, not quite having the start he wants. Is he going to take that position back? He's on the inside line. Look at that! Just missing out on contact. The number 11 Audi seemingly able to take position there. We've had a little bit of contact. Is he able to keep it? He is able to keep it, but losing out on positions. And now Kobe coming into the party. What is going on today, boys? I need a few moments to take my breath back. But we've got Misha in the 909, AMG in P1, Hankin in P2, Nicolo in P3, Lampy in not P4. Or is he P4? Yeah, he is P4, sorry, P5 going to Kobe. As they make their way through the final corner of New Holland. And we can just see the race leader also under threat. So Kobe is well and truly under threat from Lucan. Hempy only 4 seconds now, under 4 seconds, even separating himself to P10. He's going to have to work for points. We've got a long season left to go. And look at this. Elliot Hankin now putting pressure on the 909 AMG, the Dark Knight is what we're going to be calling him, I think. So the Dark Knight is currently P1, and chasing him is Elliot Hankin. Well, the fight is well and truly on between the boys here. Hankin now in a glorious P2 as the McLaren goes side by side with Lucan losing position. Is he able to take that back? Lucan in the 316 Lexus, now working his way up into P5 and chasing Lampy in P4 in the number 51 Ferrari that we could just see in shot. And we've got some side-by-side action between Rupert and Mamster. Mamster going into P8 after coming into contact with the 51 Ferrari, and now in ahead of the 78 Ferrari of Rupert. And Alexei in the number 17 McLaren. Jamo only 0.2 of a second away from himself, and Kobe in the number 7 McLaren. Hempy only 3 seconds, nearly only 3 seconds now between himself and Alexei. You can just see him there in the back of the shot. We've got 4 cars, 5 cars, 6 cars going into tow. Hankin looking like he's out of slipstream range, but Lamp, he is within slipstream range and is in slipstream range of a podium position, currently led by Nicolo there. Happy days, Dougie. And only 0.4 of a second still separating himself. Hankin working his way back up towards that P1 slot as long as he can stay within slipstream range. But Lampy and the 51 Ferrari not quite able to make anything happen there, as it looks like he's so close though. Into the right-hander of Kamsa and up to Kayaksa. And up to Sabadell. Chasing Lucan in the Lexus. But also under fire from the number 98 Ferrari of Jamo in pursuit, who's hot on the heels of the number 7 McLaren as they make their way through the final corner of New Holland. Hankin still in slipstream range, still working his way up. 6.93 separating himself between himself and a podium itch. Now only 2 seconds separating Hempy. From the next car, as we can just see them as they make their way up towards the right-hander of Repsol. No worries here. Under the Audi Sports sign. Hankin only half a second separating himself. Oh, now 0.9, not quite able to make the move. Maybe he was looking for a move, didn't quite get the run out on a corner. Lampy still in P4, 0.8 of a second separating himself between a podium P3 of Nicolo in the 28 Lexus. Jamo hot on the heels of Kobe. As he makes his way up through Europe car and towards New Holland. Not the best of runs there though from the Ferrari, giving slipstream. To Mamster in the Audi. Not able to get side by side there though. Hankin now 1.1 seconds and 1.6 seconds separating Lampe to the P3 of Nicolo. And it looks as though Lucan's run a little bit wide, but oh, it's a little bit loosened there for the number 7 McLaren. We've got pressure from all angles here. Look like there's just taken out one of the signs there. Only 1.5 seconds separating himself. Look how close this pack is. 1.3 seconds now for Hempy before he makes his way up that inevitable ladder. Wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe even in the top 6. Depending on how events unfold, but he is being put under incredible pressure. There is Kobe. As we jump on board with John, the Helicam man. How are you doing, John? Yes, very good, TMK. Just looking from the skies, and it seems as though Kobe in the number 7 McLaren is doing a great job as holding off Jamo in the numbers 98 Ferrari, who is under attack from Mamster in the number 11 Audi there. It appears as though contact earlier with the number 51 Ferrari has put him back in the pack, and you can just see him there maybe getting a little bit frustrated now, looking to want to make a move on the Ferrari as they come through the left hander of Worth, or rather up towards Worthwood. Back to you, TMK, on the ground. Thank you for that, John. Absolute pleasure having you there, and appreciate you joining us, always giving us eyes in the skies, as Mamster still in pursuit of Jamo, who has well and truly lost some pace there. Lucan still gapping Kobe. Kobe looks like he's got a fair gap now though between himself and the number 98 Ferrari. We've got 1.2 between P1 and 2. Nicolo 2 seconds separating himself between himself and Elliot Hankin in the number 44 Audi. And now Hempy, now in P10, and Lexi allowing him to move through the pack like an absolute legend. And now in the hunt of the number 78 Ferrari. So, battle of the Ferraris now as we come up to the right-hander of Renault. Yeah, get yourself on comms, Mikey. We've had an off. Mamster unfortunately obviously wanted to get past there, and unfortunately having an off. Dirty tyres affecting him there. Hempy in P10, P9 now, 0.7 of a second separating himself to P9, 8 sorry. Jamo back in the running. For P6, just out of slipstream range, just within the tail ends of it, not going to be gaining much at all. It's perfect, Mikey, get yourself in. 99 Ferrari is closing the gap between himself and the number 78 identical Ferrari here at track at Barcelona, Catalunya, as they exit Renault and enter Repsol. He's going side by side with the identical Ferrari here, not quite able or willing, shall we say, to commit to the side-by-side action, but it looks as though he is going to be making that move soon as he works his way through the left-hander of Lakayaxa and up towards Sabadell. Into the right-hander of Europe car. Just coming off the throttle there, not quite going to get the run he wants there, but he is still within slipstream range. It looks like he is just pulling him back. 78 Ferrari going defensive, taking the racing line. Jamo isn't going to have the best line there in the 78. Look at that, already in the tail of the Ferrari, but he needs to get a good exit. Getting up close to that, getting up close like that usually compromises on your run. Nicolo, 0.2 of a second separating himself to Elliot Hankin in P2 in the number 44 Audi GT3 as they make their way up towards the right hander of Sabadell and up towards Europe car. Hankin 3.2 seconds separating himself to MV. Hempy was in P1, now P9. Not able to press the X button in time. Lampy in P4, not quite dominating here, but dominated on the first 2 rounds of the Next Gen Season 4 GT World Tour in the rain. Seems that rain is most certainly his thing. 0.4 of a second, is he going to make a move here? He's gone for the outside line of Elliot Hankin, not quite able to get it there, but Hempy also a 0.1. He's gone side by side with Jamo. He's able to make it work. He's also got it there. He's made it happen before they come up to the first right-hand corner here at Catalunya into the right-hander of El. The Jamo not looking to take that position back there, but we'll see whether Hempy can pull away from Jamo and work his way up to Rupert in the number 78 Ferrari, followed by the 51 Ferrari of Lampe in P7 in the pits. First to go into the pits. Interesting choice there. Maybe wanting to get out of everyone's way, as is Mamster. But still Nicolo, 0.4. Look at this. We've got some racing here, ladies and gentlemen. And the 909 Mercedes is still within shots on the onboard here with the Lexus as he hunts down a podium. It's P2, currently possessed by the number 44 Audi GT3. And into the pits goes Nicolo. So we've got a 0.5 of a second separating Kobe to Hukan Lukan in P4, provisional P4, maybe provisional P3 now, as the pit window has opened. Lampe and Mamster already out of the pits. And the number 78 of Rupert entering the pits as well, as we are just over 4:44 away from the halfway mark. Push, push. Now Mamster coming out in the pits and chasing the race leader. And coming out of the pits, but where will he end up is the question. It's 11 minutes of a pit window left to go. Alrighty, so number 909 Mercedes in the pits. Elliot Hankin in provisional P1, chasing Mamster in the number 11 Audi after his incident with the 51 Ferrari, and also 51 Ferrari in P9. Of course he has pitted, but it'll be interesting to see exactly what Lampe can do today in the number 51 Ferrari as Elliot Hankin makes his way up towards a Europe car, and there's just over 9 minutes left to go of a pit window here at Catalonia. But it appears as though the fight is here between these boys. Hukan Lukan into the pits. Hard on the brakes before he crosses that line. Good speed difference. And you can just see Hempy there in his beautiful Ferrari. It's amazing to think, you know, we're on laser scan tracks here. single driver through their force feedback rigs. Going to be feeling every bump that Catalunya has to offer. Number 51 with a drive-through cleared there, and into the pits for Kobe.
We are halfway through, keep it up.
Meaning the 98 of Jamo in the Ferrari, currently in provisional P2. Elliot Hankin also left to pit. Alexi left to pit as well. Alexi in the pits. So Hempy, Jamo and Hankin all left to pit. See what Hempy can do today with his glorious start here at Catalunya. As we jump on board with the championship leader, Lampi. Elliot Hankin now in pursuit. We'll see whether the number 51 Ferrari is going to be on a podium today, but it looks as though especially Nicolo is performing. Elliot Hankin just going into the pits there, as you can see on the top left hand of the camera shot. It's going to be interesting to see whether number 51 Ferrari can come here for round 3 at Catalunya for NXTGEN Season 4 GT World Tour, because he is currently leading and absolutely dominated in the wet races, and now chasing Mamster, who these two actually collided, funnily enough. And now they're seeing each other again. Love the pops. Bangs. Beautiful circuit, beautiful. Most certainly all about getting your rotation right in Assetto Corsa Competizione. I know John Wells Smith is still in chat. He was very good when I first saw him, but he's very, very good now, especially in the Porsche. Hopefully we get to see him again on track. Oh, it looks like he's got a good run there against the number 11 Audi as they make their way for the right-hander of Renault and head towards Repsol. Can the number 51 Ferrari get the inside line? Little bit of contact there. drive-through penalty for Elliot Hankin, who is currently leading in a podium position. That is going to be brutal for his position, but like I said, this always happens in races. And Hempy now working his way up to P6 from P11, and Hankin with a drive-through. He might be in P5. We'll see what Kobe, Lucan can do. Nicolo with a beautiful P2 there, as Hankin takes the drive of shame there. Giving Kobe P3. You can just hear Elliot Hankins' Audi, there it is, look. And now he's joining a fight between Mamster and Lampy. So we've got two Audis. We've got an Audi GT3 sandwich here, with the Ferrari as the filling. We're going to have a brilliant battle here. But Nicolo in P2 in the 28 Lexus. What an incredible race he's having. Going to have to give him some love in a minute. Only 2.8 seconds separating himself between a gold podium. 24 minutes of racing left to go. Everyone has pitted. It is a go, go, go. We've got some racing now, ladies and gentlemen. It is game on. And Elliot Hankins going to be feeling that one, but it's not over yet. Or everything that's happened, plenty more can. And he is going to be keen to get past. Oh, it's going to be another track limits for Lampy in the 51 Ferrari there, as he makes his way through the right-hander of Sabadell and up towards Europe car. Is he going to get that position back? Side by side as they head towards Elf. Hard on the brakes. Is there going to be a little bit of contact? The 11 Ferrari, not Ferrari, Audi made a little bit of contact there between Lampy, but Elliot Hankin now looking to get that position. Is side by side with the Audi, and he's given that position to Hankin. What incredible racing we have here. Hard on the brakes again, Elliot Hankin coming up to the back end of that 51 Ferrari of Lampy.
Pit window is now closed.
Pit window is done, but everyone is also pitted as well. Incredible racing. Now only 1.8 seconds separating P1 from Nicolo now. Gonna have to keep an eye on P2 as he is working up to that inevitable P1. Tough start for Nicolo. Also choosing the 28 Lexus, different car to what he was driving in season 4, but nevertheless is doing a cracking job at a dry Catalonia. So we'll keep an eye on him. Hankin now in P10, Mamster in P11, Lampy in P9, and Hempy ahead of all of those people, as well as Rupert, Jamo and Alexi in P5, and only 2 seconds separating himself to Lucan in P4. Just over 20 minutes of racing left to go. Elliot Hankin 0.6 of a second separating himself to Lampy for P9. So this is going to be a cracking fight between the championship leader, who is under attack from the 44 Audi. Welcome, Gemma Stephen in chat. Pleasure to see you. It is. Hard on the brakes coming up to La Cayagsa. And through the right-hander of Sabadell. Cracking race here between the 44 Audi and Ferrari. Now under 20 minutes of racing left to go. .5 seconds still for Nicolo, and 20 minutes of racing left to go as he continues to chase that down. The 78 of Rupert making some form of an error there. No, just a glitch, just a glitch. Happy days. Now 1.2 seconds for Nicolo. So we've got Lexus chasing Mercedes now, going for the right-hander of Renault, making sure we get all them horsepowers down up towards Repsol, making use of all of the track limits as well. Now 1 second separating Hankin to Lampy. Now 1.1, but only 0.9, so Misha is under attack from Nicolo. side by side. Oh, Nicolo looking to take that position. P1 already away from the 909 Mercedes as they go into the right-hander of Sabadell and up towards Europe car. We've got some action here for the P1 slot of Season 4, Round 3 at Catalonia. Woohoo! We've got some action here. Is he going to take the position as they make their way up to the first right-hander of Elf? He's gone back to the racing line. Is he going to get a better exit though? It looks as though he has. He's going to have to cut back. He has got the cut back. Has he gone side by side? Not quite able to make it happen, but he's going through there. It looks like he's got another good run. Is he going to go side by side here as they make their way and hurtle their way down towards Repsol? No, he's gone for the racing line yet again. He's not quite able to get on the inside line through Repsol. Still holding on to P1. And Hempy also going side by side. Oh my god. Oh, I mean, she's definitely going to be feeling the pressure here. It is most certainly always easier to be the hunter and not the prey as they make their way through the final right-hander of New Holland and up towards that start-finish straight here at Catalonia, still in pursuit. Going defensive, forcing Nicolo side by side. Is he going to get a better run out here? Those have to run a little bit wide through turn 2 there as they make their way for the right-hander of Renault. Hempy side by side with Lucan. Ferrari in pursuit of Lexus. He's nearly going. Has he got the run now? I don't know whether the Lexus has made a mistake. Has he got the inside line? He's just had to tap the brakes yet again, but he's still on the inside line of the Lexus. Can he make it happen as they make their way up towards Repsol? No, he's lost out to that position. Line a bit of contact. He's got the inside line. Is he able to keep it? Tiny bits of contact. Oh my good god, it is all kicking off here. As we have only 12 minutes of racing left to go. And Nicolo only 0.17. Separating himself and P1. To the right-hander of Repsol. Only 10 minutes of racing left to go as Nicolo is still in the hunt for P1, currently owned and dominated by the 909 Mercedes, who has always had very good qualifying and race times, but has some unfortunate events in round 1 and 2 in the wet. And Lampi in the 51 Ferrari doing incredibly well in the wet. Now finding himself in P9. Pulling away from Elliot Hankin, now 4 seconds separating himself to Lampy. That's going to affect their points, but also giving them back to Misha and Nicolo in P1 and 2. 0.636. Beautiful numbers there separating P1 to P2. That's going to even the scoreboards, which is funny. So we're going to have to just see how this one bears out. Hempy now in P4. But still in danger, 0.5 to 0.7 separating himself to Hukan Lukan in P5. So he's gone from last to P4. A credit to his driving there, most certainly. To Daniel in the 99 Ferrari, congratulations, a good serve for even getting here. Into the right-hander of Repsol. Nicolo working hard. Look at those movements on his rig. Now 0.8 of a second separating, well, both Nicolo and Hukan Lukan to the relative P4 and P1. Looks like the 909 has got an incredible run there, and now Mamster putting pressure on Elliot Hankin as the identical at mid-range V10 5.2 litre Audis battle it out here at Catalunya. Look at the beautiful distance, the hills, the sun. You definitely know you are in Barcelona. Mamster's doing incredibly well. Shame about his incidents. Alrighty, just under 7 minutes of racing left to go. 0.689 of a second separating Nicolo to Misha in P1. Going defensive, making sure he's out of that slipstream range. Through Europe car and up to New Holland go the identical Ferraris making their way up to the start finish straight here at Catalunya. Lampy in P9. What an interesting turn of events this has been, but both Misha and Nicolo in P1 and respective P2 have had rough starts here for round 1 and 2, so they've most certainly shown their worth, and if all goes to well, they're going to get some points on the leaderboard here, which is going to update, of course, for round 4, and more even the racing out. Oh, look at that. That's going to be another track limits, is it? For Lampy is side by side and taking the position from the 78 Ferrari of Rupert, but is he going to get stung with a penalty? 4 minutes of racing left to go. 2 seconds separating Hukan Lukan to Hempy now, conceding that position. And Hempy with a well-deserved P4 from last, starting in the pits. A very, very incredible race. Be interesting to see where he comes towards the end of the series, but nevertheless the fight for P1 continues. Half of a second separating P1 to P2. In slipstream range, he's going to have to think about it soon. I can imagine he is going to be focusing very hard indeed. Oh, look at that. That was an incredible run there, but he has to just jump back on the brakes. On board with helmet cam with Nicolo. You see all of the micro adjustments being made. Absolutely incredible driving from these lads indeed. Question is, can he take P1? Force feedback put to its absolute limits here. Feeling every bump in the road of these laser scan tracks at Catalunya. 2 minutes of racing left to go. Can he make it happen? That is the question here for Season 4, Round 3 at Catalunya for NXTGEN's GT World Tour. We've got the Lexus in pursuit of Mercedes. Well, whoever of these two boys take position on P1, it's going to be a first for either of them. Round 1 and 2 was gold. So the 51 Ferrari as they make their way through right-hander of New Holland. We have got just under 2 minutes of racing left to go. Final lap. We have got side-by-side action nearly between the Lexus and Mercedes as they come up towards the right-hander of Elvin. Looks as though Nicolo's gone to the outside line. He's not going to go for there, just trying to bluff the Mercedes into the right-hander of Elf there as they make their way and hurtle their way up towards the final right-hand corner of Renault. Going for the right-hander of Bluff as they make their way into the right-hander of Repsol. Can he get a good run out here? I know he's going to be pushing, but he needs to not push too hard and lose that P2 slot up to the left-hander of Sayat. Exiting the best he can. The 909 Mercedes is in the danger zone. They could get side by side at any moment. He's gone for the inside line. He might make it. He's gone for a good braking, but is he going to get a good exit? It looks as though both drivers are most certainly head down, eyes up as they make their way into the right-hander of Kamsa and up towards the final left-hander of Lakayaksa. Is Nicolo going to send it here? Is the 909 going to go defensive? He's got defensive, but can Nicolo get a better run out of Lakayaksa? There's a little bit of contact there. A little bit of contact between the Mercedes and the Lexus. P1 going to Nicolo, P2 to Misha, and P3 well deserved on the podium for Kobe in the number 7 McLaren. Taking a podium today, congratulations Kobe in the number 7 McLaren there. Hempy from the pits, last to 4th place, 7 seconds separating himself to a podium. Lucan in P5 and Jamo in P6 as he makes his way through New Holland. We've still got a little bit of a fight here. Lampe nearly in P7, 0.9 of a second separating himself, but not able to take P7 away from Alexi. Taking P7 today, Lampe with P8, Rupert with P9, Mamster with a P10, and Elliot Hankin losing position to Mamster, and both identical Audi GT3s here at Catalunya for round 3 of the Next Gen Season 4 GT World Tour. Taking the lower points there. Elliot Hankin out on the brakes there. Both over the sausage there. Desperate to take that position, but Mamster taking P10 and Hankin taking P11, giving us a flash there. What a legend. Lucan P5, Hempy P4. Absolute incredible race there, and what a pleasure that was to experience such an incredible race. And a big shout out to Hempy, of course, going from last to 4th position there. Well done to all the competitors from Jerry in chat. Thank you, Simon. Just wondering whether we're going to get any celebratory donuts from the boys. And into the pits. So that brings the Next Gen Season 4 GT3 World Tour to a close. Round 3, Catalunya, Nicolo with a P1, Misha with a P2, Kobe with a P3, Hempy P4. Again, congratulations in such a beautiful looking Ferrari. And Lucan in P5, Jamo in P6, Alexi P7, Lampe currently first in round 1 and 2. But P8 today is going to be interesting to see where he is on the leaderboards for round 4 next week. And Rupert in P9 in the 78 Ferrari, taking position over Mamster. and Elliot Hankin taking last position today for round 3. Thank you to everyone in chat. Thank you for smashing that like button, and I appreciate you all in the chat. Hope you've enjoyed your time with us, Mikey. Experiencing it on the big screen. Hope it's been as realistic as possible for you. Top driving to all. Incredible comms, Matt. Cheers, my friend. Get a Guinness down your neck, my friend. You most certainly deserve it. Thank you for joining me in chat as well. Do appreciate it. Hope to see you more often. And yeah, that is going to bring us to a close. Thank you again. We'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao. Push, push.